smooth as us. See, I done worked and I done bled, cause I done hustled way too hard, and I get further every step. If sky's the limit, shoot for stars, huh? Some didn't think we get here. I told them just watch. I push the lights to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again. It ain't no race if I don't win. I push that weight to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. To keep it 100, I came in to run it and bet if I had to, I'd do it again. It ain't no race if I don't win.
What's up?
What's happening? What's happening?
What's up? Thanks for joining me. You know, I feel like we've never collabed before, but I'm happy we got our opportunity to do it today.
No, right? That's because you won't be calling nobody back like you supposed to, but you know, I'm gonna get on you after that, after the live. Don't worry.
I appreciate it because I have a really bad problem. Like when I see a text message, sometimes I respond in my head and then like forget to actually text back. So
yeah, I told Pettway, I said she reached out to me, was like, "Yo, give me a call." I reached back out. I ain't heard nothing for weeks.
100% all my fault.
Oh man, it's all good, man. It is what it is, you know.
But I heard you had an amazing race with really good turnouts this weekend. I heard some very fast passes.
Oh yeah. It was pretty cool, man. I think all the races that we host are pretty consistent as far as like attendance and stuff like that is concerned. I know one of the things that I was focused on this year with the Extravaganza racing series was previously, even before I met you, you know, we had like the 757 LBR point series, and that kind of started back in 2017. And you know, it's kind of like the same deal as a point series. So every single race was like the same classes, the same track fee, the same everything. And you know, when I first started doing it the first 2 or 3 years, there wasn't anybody else out there doing it. You know what I'm saying? It was like, that's the reason why we travel so much. Like if you notice, I travel to different spots and I host races. It wasn't necessarily because that's what I chose to do, because that's what my own thing was. It was because in the beginning, there was no one doing races at the level that my team and I was doing. So people was asking us to come basically to their areas to have the races. So that's how the point series kind of got created, you know what I'm saying? And that's how we ended up going to Maryland and like, you know, Virginia and North Carolina. And we even went up to New York and had the race up there in 2019. I think it was the first ever pro tree race that was up there with an actual timing tree system or whatnot. And we had it at Wonk Penn spot that he invited us to come up to, and my man Derek Serpent from New York. So, you know, I kind of sunsetted that last year because, you know, it was like point series was just popping up all over the place, you know, and honestly, like, you don't know me that well, you ain't known me that long, but for people who've been around for a long time in this game, they know that a lot of things that my team and I were doing, like, people piggybacked off of. You know, it ain't boasting. It's not saying somebody couldn't copy something or somebody did copy something. It's just the actual truth. If you go back and look, you know, back in 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, no one was doing anything close to what we was doing. And then when Street Eliminator came around and some guys that I know or whatever started getting into that, then you start seeing like things trickle in, trickle out. And then you start seeing, you know, like I know for us, local point series and stuff like that pop up. And then it kind of went to more of a national thing with like the Clash and stuff like that. So, you know, I just kind of sit back sometimes and just kind of smile and laugh when I see certain people do certain things, because it all came from something. And like for me, even like I even started the point series, you know, with ideas from, you know, different OGs from back in the day. You know, they didn't have resources, so to speak, to be able to do things at the level that I was doing it with my team. But like they had some concepts and some ideas that, you know, I kind of looked at and thought about, and then I said, hey, well, if I can kind of marry this idea with like that thought process and then evolve it into this, then I can kind of make it my own. So that's how that all came to fruition. But after 8, 9 years of doing the point series, I just wanted to have some more flexibility when it came to being able to do different things for races. So like for the first race, we had like 8 different classes. We introduced the front wheel drive class to like my racetrack, Misunderstood Racing Dragway. We introduced that there for the very first time. We had never ran front wheel drives. And there was like a couple other things that we did as well. And then like the second race was really supposed to be focused on like a dry tire, bracket, 220 index, E-slide type of race. So it wasn't a prep race at all. And some of that feedback was, provided by some people, they was like, hey, can we have a no prep race, whatever. And remind me to get back to that, the whole thing about races asking for stuff, because I want to talk about that. And then like the third race was the 7 scale toe tags and RC body bags nationals. That was specifically focused on the 7 scale class stuff. And then this last race was kind of like a finale recap of like all the classes that have been ran from the first race to the second race to the third race. And I just wanted to, provide something for everybody to be able to participate. So that's how we kind of got here. The sponsorship stuff and all that stuff, that's another thing, man. Like back when I started the 757 LBR point series with 757, like wasn't nobody really out there doing a whole bunch of sponsorship stuff. People was calling us left and right, calling me left and right. How you get sponsors? How you get people to do this? How you get people to do that? And I don't mind helping people, CiCi. But it's like, to be honest, at the end of the day, like we all put a lot of work into our crafts, right? It's just like you look at the guys that's about to be on the show. They put a lot of work into their craft. So, who wants to go out and spend 5 days a week testing or on the phone with sponsors and people? Who wants to go out and be trying to work on paperwork and trying to work on setups on cars and spend all this money and spend time away from your family and your wife and your husband getting mad because you ain't never in the house, so you run around the corner every hour trying to test and tune, creating conflicts and everything else? Who wants to do all of that? And then you just pop up one day and say, hey man, can you give me your whole setup? I want a car just like yours. Or for a race host to call me and say, can you tell me all your deepest and darkest secrets about what you do and how you go about hosting your race? Like, I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna give you what you need to get started. I'm gonna give you what you need to be successful. But all that blood, sweat, and tears, and me spending all this money, all the heartache and pains, like I can't just hand that over. You know what I'm saying? I won't just hand that over. I mean, you don't see Pepsi calling Coca-Cola, asking Coca-Cola for they formula for they main drink, do you?
But don't you feel like if people recognize you for being an awesome race director, race promoter, and you put all of this on, you understand, you're kind of like, I don't know. In our MPRC world, our go-to race director is Erica Del Grosso. She is known for putting on amazing races, putting them fast, getting through a bunch of classes, and having a great event, right? Mm-hmm. Sometimes people hire her, hey, you're a great race director, you come and race our race, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that? Because I feel like when people ask you for those things, just like when people come and ask for my setup in my car or what I'm doing, I've taken it as more so like it's a compliment because they recognize my talent and my performance, and they necessarily don't want to be like me, but if they could be as fast as me or do just as good as me, that could help them stay in the community or help them give back more to the community in your position.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think everybody deserves your insight and your time?
I really never think about it as like who deserves more so. I think if you're a racer and I like racing and I want people to show up to my events and I want people to show up and race and I want to continue having this hobby, because if people stop racing, we won't have this hobby. So yes, I do think it's an important. I do think a lot of people should get the basic information, and if they want to take something top tier, then they can hire me to build their car. You know what I'm saying? If they like, I ran Mo's race and Mo said, okay, CiCi, you gonna do it next year? And I was like, cool. I don't mind doing it next year. I don't mind doing it because I have love for the hobby. Now, I understand it takes a lot of time and money to do those things and to put on a race. But if it can continue to keep your hobby a hobby and not let it die out, I would do it, and I support it.
So you broke down the question into two different things though. My question was, do you think everyone deserves it? Keyword, everyone. Everyone, just like in your real life, does not deserve your time and your attention, your thought process, or anything. Everyone doesn't deserve that. And this is one thing that's different for me. A lot of folks see, I'm not going to change my morals and my ethics and my approaches to people in the way that I look at things just because I stand to gain from something from you, right? I want you to be at my races, my team's races, because you want to be there, not because I'm being phony and fake because I want to get an extra track fee from you, or I want it to be 85 people instead of 55 people. I can care less how many people it is. I just want the people who really want to be there, who want to race, and that who really want to support the racing. I want them there. So like when it comes down to the question of does everybody deserve it, it's the same answer as in your real life. Everyone isn't deserving of your time for whatever reason. Like there's different reasons. You know what I'm saying? People could do stuff to you. Maybe people's intentions are bad for, your life or bad for the racing or whatever. But, you give that, like you said, that baseline of, hey, let me help. I want to make sure I help grow. I want to make sure I help people be enthusiastic about getting in the sport. I want to make sure I keep things moving in a positive direction. And I want to provide a great place and space for people to run their cars and stuff. But then when you have individuals who have bad intentions or are not looking to do the same thing to grow, I'm not saying you discount them. You don't discount them. You respect them and you give them, just enough respect that they're owed. You know what I'm saying? And then you have conversations with them and you also share some of the things that help them out too. I'm just saying like that stuff that's like, you watching a movie with your dad, or I'm watching a movie with my wife and somebody hits me up. It's the difference between me saying, oh, hold on, baby, let me step away real quick. I really need to go talk to CiCi because she got a question. Or, oh yeah, I'll get back with them, you know what I'm saying, when I get done with my personal time. That's the different levels that I'm talking about of contributing. Like when I say deserve, do you deserve for me to step away? Or are you in that space where like when I get the moment, I can step away and help you the same? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I understand that, and I feel like there's different points of views on over that because everybody has a different point of view on that. Me personally, I feel like if I give you something with good intention, like meaning I don't give you the tune in my car, right?
Absolutely.
But I give you a bass tune which I know will help you get down the track, and that way you can turn up from your thing. It doesn't matter if I feel like you're going to use that attention to beat me. You know what I'm saying? Because my intention is good because I'm trying to help you get down the track. Now,
but you said bass tune. You didn't say to the moon tune.
Let me tell you how it would be undeserving if I gave them my tune. My car is going a 130. Your car hasn't gone down the track. If I give you a 130 tune, and then it's not the fact that your car is just not going straight. Something is wrong with your car if it can't just go straight 1.7. You know what I'm saying? If it is not making down the track, me giving you my 130 tune will blow your car apart. You will not have a battery or ESC, nothing. So that would be me giving you bad intention, bad intel, right? So me giving you a bass tune is actually good things. And once I see how you perform with that bass, then I can help you escalate to get to that point where I see, okay, cool. You made it down the track. Now I can give you a little bit more on how to turn the car up, where to turn the car up. That is about having good intentions and being a good person in the hobby. Now, I'm not telling you to give them all your secrets. I'm not telling you to pull out in your box and give them your secret prep or syrup that you're using. But if I can help in a way that will make you stay in this hobby and I'll make you have fun and I can still have fun and feel like, hey, not only did I win a couple rounds, but he got his car down the track, so now he's able to race. I don't want to race somebody who can't get to the line because their car won't get down to the track. I don't want to race like that. I want to have a close finish where we got to look at the camera to see who won because that's real racing.
Oh yeah, and to your point, there's levels though. So when somebody comes to you and asks for something, you have to understand where they're at, right? You know what I'm saying? So you have to help people progress. So to your point that you just made, if somebody comes to you and says, hey, give me your tune out your car or build me exact car that you got, they need to learn the basics first. We need to share with them the understanding and the logistics of what goes into building a car, and we need to educate them, and then we bring them along in the process, like you said. But what I'm saying is, when I go back to the deserving thing, even like my man Mo, do you help people that don't put in any work? Like that's a key thing right there. Like if somebody is always at home, never putting in work, never spending any money to upgrade their stuff, never asking questions to learn and like take that level from 1, 2 to 3, but then you come to me and say, hey, give me everything you got, you don't deserve that. Like you deserve me to help you and to give you the tools that you need to start building up your program, but you don't deserve for me to give you everything like your real tune, because that's not the level you're at right now, and it's going to do more harm than good. So let's work and progress up, and then we'll get to that point eventually. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for that. Absolutely.
And I understand, and I agree with what you're saying. I just do believe that it's not okay. I would say for me, example, I'm not about to say who's deserving and who's not deserving. If you come and a crackhead off the street come and they are not making it down the track, I'm going to help you get down the track as best as I can. As best as I can. Because here's the thing though, like I got in 2-wheel drive and I went to 2 2-wheel drive races. Okay? Do you not think that I'm asking for help? Yes, I didn't put in any work. I just showed up at the track and ran my car. But I don't have the time to do all this testing that everyone else has to do. That doesn't mean that I'm less deserving than other people for that information because I don't put the time in. No, I don't have the time.
No, you're not less deserving for somebody to help you to get a bass tune. We say we're saying the same thing. We're saying we're gauging where people are in regards to the level of assistance and help we give them initially. We're not saying you're not deserving, like I'm not giving you nothing. That's not what we're saying. We're saying there, if you got 1 to 10 levels on where you're at with your program, 10 being you running a 1-3-5, right? We're saying, hey, based on where you're at, conversation, or what I see is going on with your car, or whatever the case may be, I may say, all right, I'm gonna start CiCi off at level 4 because I'm gonna do her a really big disservice by giving her level 8 or 9 right now, because it's really going to be more discouraging for her than it is going to help her get excited about what we're doing. And I'm gonna make sure she is legit successful at step 4. And when I see that she's mastered that, then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give her step 5. Then I'm gonna give her step 6. And eventually, I want to get her to the point where we can have that side by side where there's that photo finish. So we're saying the same thing. Nobody's saying nobody deserves like any help. I'll give a crackhead help off the street too. But the crackhead ain't gonna get 10 out of 10 because that's not where the crackhead is at the moment. We need to build them up. You feel me? And to Mo's point, I mean, I don't know if it's the point he's making specifically, but it kind of goes along with it. If you got somebody who don't want to be built up, what's your next move? You know what I'm saying? Like if they don't want to be built up, it's kind of difficult. You know what I'm saying? But good dialogue. You want to go ahead and get some of the folks on?
Heck yeah. So we got Wonk in here. We got Rollout.
Them two of the hardest working guys in the game right there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
And we got Anthony coming back.
Yeah, he had to run away. What? Joe and them still in?
Joe and them are still in. Their cameras aren't on.
Okay.
They can hear us though because they're making sound.
Hey fellas, what y'all think about that question? Like, what type of help do you think? When somebody comes to you asking for help, based on what we just talked about, you giving them, Wonk, you gonna get them your 125 tune off the jump, or you gonna say, look, let me see where they at, understand where their program is at, see what they're asking, and then I'm gonna give the level of help that I can make sure that they're successful with before we even entertain like going to the next step.
Me personally, just speaking for me, when somebody needs help, yeah, I don't just give them some rocket ship tune, because 9 times out of 10, the help that they need is just getting down the track. Not because a lot of these guys don't go straight out of the gate. So going straight is the most important key to this whole thing. It just everything else follows going straight. So I always try to see how they car looking, going down the track, or and things like that. And if it's not going down the track, I will help guys out trying to get down the track just that way, before a tune even comes into question. So
Gotcha,
that's
gotcha.
just what I do. Like, and then if it's another level where a guy is going down the track and he just wants to get faster, um, me personally, I'm just gonna speak for me. Um, I'm not giving him my tune. Um, but I do have other like bass tunes and stuff that we can get that guy to go faster. You know what I'm
Uh,
saying? So if a guy's running 1.7 or 1.70, um, I mean, giving him a low 1.3 tune, I mean, yeah, like I don't know if his car is like she said. I don't know if his car is even built for to hold that kind of power. So we just bump him up from that level. You know what I'm saying? I might help him get down from a 1.7 to a low 1.5, a high 5. You know what I'm saying? See how he likes it. But somebody has to be willing to also just go out there and try things and like I do. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah.
I get that everybody don't have the time of day like others do. I do get that, but that don't mean people can't get a little help, but they just can't get what I got that I work hard for 5 days out of the week. My wife yelling at me, "Well, you just tested your car yesterday." Yeah, that's me. But I still do help guys, and I won't turn nobody away from help.
Oh yeah.
So,
What about you, roll out?
Me personally, I mean, I don't mind helping. I've gotten help. Shit won't help me when my first
Hold up.
I was trying to figure out why so once he showed me with that, man, I've been straight since. So I like you. I'll help you to a certain degree. I look at this thing like take time for the things for a person to say they don't have time. I don't really, that right there don't sit well with me, because if I can see that you can do all these other things and doing this and doing that, you can have the time to really put forth the effort to it. So that I don't believe. But as far as helping people, I don't mind helping. I'm not giving nobody my gearing or anything like that. I'll give you a range so you can figure it out, but I'm not doing all of that. And as far as just generally helping somebody, like at a race, yeah, I believe what they're saying. I'm not going to give you something that can possibly destroy your car. Let's see what how you even got the car set up. And then we just go from there.
Yeah, man.
Anthony,
He went from there.
I knew he was gonna fade eventually when I heard the audio.
Yeah, he'll be back. He doing some work.
he need to pay the other half of his phone bill.
Oh man. Stop it.
Oh man, there you go. He back.
What you think, Pettway?
Man, y'all asking the slow guy. Man, I ain't got nothing to give. Nah, I'm just playing. But I believe that there's a percentage, there's a split that's got to happen. Like you gotta. I'll work with anybody that's willing to work with me. If you bringing something to the table and you're showing effort, then I'll help you out. But it can't be me giving you 100% and you putting in 0%. You gotta put your percentage. You gotta put your percentage in order to I have this saying that I can't care more than you care. So you gotta show me that you care in order for me to give you some help.
Yep.
Yeah, that's game right there. And I think the thing is too, CiCi, there's CiCi, you got some guys that's been in the game for a minute on this on this podcast, man. And you don't know how many times if you got guys out there that ask for help, right? We give them help. They go and do the total opposite of what it is. Well, let's back up. I'll speak for me. I know these cats on the line, they feel the same way, but I always speak for them. If I come to you, CiCi, and I say, look, I build cars for people, 10 scales, 7 scales. I build stuff for people, and it be set up exactly like my joint. It run the exact same time my car runs. And they'll take it and they'll change it. They'll change the tune. They'll take stuff off the car. And then they come out there and they can't get down the track. They in the wall. They hitting the ramps. And I'm like, yo, what did you do? And they're like, nothing. I didn't really do. I'm like, yo, you did something because that car don't look the same. Oh, I changed this. I changed it. Yo, once you do that to me one time, yo, you cut. Don't even come back for no more help.
So I have a question. So If you build, so here's the reason why I don't necessarily believe in building cars for other people. Okay, one, my dad, when I first got an Outlaw, he said, "Here's your car kit." I said, "Okay, build it." He said, "No." He said, "You're gonna build this car. You're gonna build it again and again because you have to learn how to build this car." Now, at the track, if we're rushing, he's going to probably build it because he can probably build it faster than I can, right? But it's still the point of I need to know what everything in my car kind of does. I need to know what goes up into building this car. I need to know what works, what doesn't, what it's supposed to be like. And then you building a car for someone, isn't it kind of the goal of him changing things and tweaking with stuff to get better? You have to change things. You have to try new tires. You have to try new gears. You have to try new diff fluid or whatever the case to see if you can build your own car. Can you perform on your own 2 feet?
There's a difference to that, though. There's a big difference. So what you're saying is the level of making those changes. If I build a car for you, and it's never been on the track, it's never been on. When that car comes to the track and me and you are there, it should be nothing changed on it because the car 100%. Needs to be dialed in first. So
100% because that's what I just
so what you're saying is understandable. Yes, that's a different level. A couple times we've tested the car, we got the car going straight. Now it's your car. Make changes, figure out different things. Now you're fine-tuning the car. That's a difference. But what we're saying is I've given people my complete setup. And then when we come out the race, well, I didn't want to put this motor on, or I didn't want to do this. I'm gonna try this and this. Well, then I can't help you with something that you chose to put on there, totally different. Now we're out here testing, and you're struggling because you got something totally different than what I gave you to put on the car. That's you can't do it. There's no way in hell possible for you to expect to have the same performance if you're not following the same direction.
Yeah, and that happens more times.
If we get the car going straight and they get the car moving forward and it's rolling, and we didn't do a couple of sessions, and then you said, "Man, I think I want to try a different motor." Boom, there you go. Now you step to the next level of fine tweaking the car. But that car should not come to the first day I'm building it, first day I was testing it with things totally changed on it. That makes absolutely sense. You wasted time and yours.
I understand that.
And then look, CiCi.
And then you can't. Then the person's upset because, well, I paid you, and my car ain't. Well, you ain't got the same thing I gave you. You have none of the information, none of the tools, none of the stuff that I've given you to perform. But you want me to now try to break my neck to stop to try to figure out this whole different setup. Nah, it's not gonna happen.
Hey, CiCi.
I'll be
there. Then they get on social media and other forums and they say, "Don't nobody want to help me."
Yeah. Or go tell people, like going around and telling people, "Hey man, I can't get no help. I can't do this. I can't." Man, I'm gonna go on face live.
I'm gonna take it one step further.
You just showed me.
We say Pettway.
I said I'm gonna take it one step further, or they'll ask Rollout for his information. Then they'll ask T Money for his information. Then they'll ask Wonk for his information. Then me for my information, and try to merge that together and think that they're gonna be faster than all four. And then
you're gonna come to the track with Frankenstein, and we all looking like, what the hell is that?
I mean, I see where all of y'all are going, and I understand both. That's why I don't build cars for other people, and I don't get my cars built. I might buy a car for somebody, like, hey, this is a nice car, I'll buy it, and then I'll do what I need to do to it to make it mine. But I do feel like if you're asking for help, yes, stay with one person. If you're new and you're new to a class, ask different people. I would say that because that's when you can be like, okay, so a lot of people have been saying, oh, use this Pinky Tune 4S battery, right? Okay, it seems like a good battery. I mean, you have to talk to people to learn and see which ones most people are running, which one's more consistent. and choose from there.
Nah,
What sets you
that
apart.
doesn't work in the long
And
run
I can say
either,
this,
because
and I can say this
that
for
doesn't
100%
work in the long
fact.
run either.
I can say this for 100% fact. When I first started racing, I went to Super Chips. My very first race, I asked Anthony for help. I asked Frank Greer for help. I asked Justin for help. At the next race, I was running 1/4.
But I'll say this though, it depends on what you're asking for. So if I'm asking Rollout for his shock setup, and then I ask Wonk for his diff setup, they might not work together the same.
Right,
So
but you asked the same questions.
Yeah, I mean,
We can agree to disagree, but I do feel like you should ask multiple people, and I do feel like with me, especially how fast I've gone in this time, like y'all have been doing this for years and years and years, and I've been doing it for over 2 years now. And the way I became fast is because I wasn't afraid to ask the same question to 20 people.
Well, listen. You gotta understand. I understand that, and I'm gonna just say it, because I don't cope nothing. It's a little bit more rated R on this side of the world in this big car stuff. Um, and it's a lot of gatekeeping, and stuff like that, and because the history of our side is just, you ask everybody, and a lot of people gotten help on this side of things, and they use it against the people that helped them. So it's a lot of occurrences like that, So
Okay,
that's
so
why a lot of people are secretive on the bigger car side, like the 7 scale side, 8 scale side. I can't speak for the other street eliminator side, or like that, but we a little bit more like into the grudge, like big betting, like like street style racing sometimes, and some people just a little, they don't asking everybody. Sometimes it just throw up a red flag. You ain't gonna get the same help probably asking people over here that you would over there, street eliminator. It's just a little bit more
Yeah, it's
aggressive
a
over here.
difference.
so
It's a
It's a
big
little bit
difference.
more aggressive. You know what I'm saying? I've had people I've
Yeah.
helped. I had people I went out my way and helped, and next thing you know, what I helped them with, they gave to another person and another person, and then them people was just, they on me. They trying to beat me down. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. You know what I'm saying? But
in
that's
my
why.
point of view, it's more so like this. I can give Anthony my car, right? I can give him my car. I can give him every single thing in it. I can give him shock tires, tune, everything. We could be running perfectly 142s identical, right? He ran a 142, I ran a 142. If me and Anthony go up to that line, he still has to beat me off the tree. He still has to beat me down the track. I don't care. I'm happy that Anthony's getting a good pass, and that could be me. That could be, maybe because I'm a girl, maybe I race SC cars,
Yeah.
but a lot of things can happen, and I don't sleep on trees. And I hear your side of things about it, like how people would gang up against you and use that information to like beat you in the race and stuff like that. And I do see a different point of view where, like, okay, Anthony has my whole tune in his car. It's my tune. I know what I can turn up and turn down. I know if he's running a 142, I could possibly get a 140 and just cut a good light.
yeah, CiCi, that sounds good. It
Sounds
sounds
good.
real good, but the
Right.
reality, that's not the reality though. And I think that's what the fellas is trying to convey
No,
in the conversation.
I think she's right as far as what she's saying, because from me coming from SE and being in the 7 scale, there is two different atmospheres when you go to those races. Like, I can go out to a SE race and get help with no problems if I needed it. But when I come to a 7 scale race or anything like that, I'm gonna have to, it's gonna be a certain one or two people that I'm gonna ask if I need it, but it's not the same atmosphere. So she's based it off of one group of people to where it's a totally different atmosphere with another group of people. So we can't really tell her that's not reality, because in that world, the SC world, it's totally different. It's a way different aspect from one to another. and vice versa. She can't tell us, well, nah, you shouldn't do. She doesn't know that side like that. So it's two different worlds and how things are moving. You got to move accordingly to where you're at.
Yeah, I'm speaking on our side specifically. I'm not speaking on the SE side. The
If she's
reality
speaking on the SE
over
side,
here,
Mm,
our reality is different over here than it is on the SE side.
yeah,
well,
that's what I'm saying. So
speaking from
what
my
she's speaking on is
experience.
based off of that.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. When I was testing my 2-wheel drive with Looney and Mo, they were telling me what to do. They were telling me how to tune. They were telling me, yeah, that's a good thing. Your car's fast, and it'll be even faster if you run these kind of tires. If you did this to your point, like turn your point a little down, roll a little more tighter. It's more so like, hey, CiCi, she wants to get in the hobby. Are you gonna help her? Or are you gonna help the next
Yeah,
person
and
get
that's
chances? So I'm speaking not necessarily just from SE. I'm speaking from more so my experience. My experience is, hey, like I've had people help me out to go fast. I've helped other people to go fast. I've helped
wait till
more
you had
people.
that experience when you step out there with the car by yourself and step away from those people that you are comfortable with and got to go somewhere different, and it's just you and your dad or just you by yourself. It's a totally
And I,
different act. You're going to get a totally different thing.
and I did that last weekend or 2 weekends ago when I won.
Yeah, but once again, you're in a two-wheel drive. You've already got that established with that. I'm talking about a whole different atmosphere. A whole different atmosphere.
So let me ask you this, CiCi. Let me ask you this. Yeah, I'm gonna see if you can get your feelings in that. Yeah, we about to find out what CiCi about right now. CiCi, every video I watched on that 2-wheel drive race that you won, you ain't prep your car. Is it because you don't know how to prep your car, or are you still learning? Like, what's the difference? Because like if you come up here and it's just you and your dad, are you gonna be able to have the same success because you can prep your car, or was Mo prepping your car just because he was helping?
Mo prepped my car that day because I used Mo's prep. The prep we had, we did not think about the heat conditions. We're new. So Mo was like, cool, I'll prep your car. I asked Mo. When I won, Mo won too. Um, I can prep my own car. Yes, I'm still learning. I've only had 3 total races where I could prep my car. The viral video of Dennis beating me was probably because I was snow prepping my car. All right. Um, I'm learning to prep my car, and the next race I'll be prepping my own
What race you talking about with Dennis?
at the GC National race.
Oh, okay. I was wondering, hold on, I think she ran Dennis at the other joint. Yeah, it's all good, man. It's a learning curve, you know what I'm saying? But I think like one of the main things is like keeping the dialogue going, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I think we got a lot of talented people in the game on each side, you know what I'm saying? Racers, hosts, and everything. I think you got a lot of different opinions, you got a lot of different perspectives, and I think that just opens up the spectrum for the racing that we're doing to make it better and even bigger than what it is. I think us as racers and race hosts, we the ones that hold us back from being as successful as we can. Sometimes it's because people getting their feelings. Sometimes it's just people have different opinions. Sometimes there's a lot of guys in this game that don't like people and they ain't even never met them before. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of dudes that what I'm saying, it's a lot of followers, man, in the game, bro. Your whole boy be like, yeah, I don't like such. They be like, you don't like him either. Like, and that stuff like that stuff keeps us from moving forward. I'm a type of dude, man. I'm just gonna tell you how I feel about the situation. You know, and sometimes it comes off the right way, sometimes it come off the wrong way. Sometimes you want to hear what you think is the version of like the real, but my version of the real don't line up with yours, and all of a sudden you mad because I ain't say it the way you said it. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day's gonna end. That's just how it's gonna roll out. So like for us, for example, us racing up the coast. Let's start talking about it. We do a lot of supporting each other up the coast. You know what I'm saying? Especially from like the South Carolina up to like the New York, Connecticut area. Like we're at each other's races, like, consistently. You know what I'm saying? And I know like until I had some personal things going on about for the last year or whatever, I know I was down at Flip Fest a couple times. I was down in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? I went down there one time when it was a tropical storm, and we didn't even know we was gonna be able to race, but I went anyway. You know, there's pictures out there you can see, like, you know, the track. Nick Steele's track got sensors got hit at the top end. I'm over there up under my tent. It's pouring down rain. Walking them over there with me because me and Wonk and all of us went down there. Like we at the table, it's like a foot of water running down the table. I'm sitting there soldering wires on Nick Steele's, you know, porta tree system, trying to get the top end back up so that we can race and have a timing system. You know what I'm saying? I've been to South Carolina 4 times in the last 2.5, 3 years to race. So like I go different places. Georgia, you know, L Rock had a race down there, MPK and all them. I just haven't been able to get down there in the last year, year and a half because I just got a lot of personal stuff going on. There really ain't nobody else's, you know, concern. It ain't really for anybody else to know about, you know. But dudes who know me, like Roll Out and Wonk, like they know why I haven't been able to, you know, be as consistently at them 8, 9, 10, 11, 12-hour trips in the past year and a half. But I'll get back to it sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? But everybody helps, you know, for the most part, man. And you know, some dudes, I'm an advocate of like just don't talk me to death. Like CiCi, if you come into a race, like don't be sitting there telling you come to the race for 3 straight months and then all of a sudden you pick up the red phone and hit the call out line on Thursday and all of a sudden you can't make it. Like I'm a person that's really big on your word, whether it's RC, whether it's real life, whether it's whatever. Like don't tell me you're gonna do something if you don't know you're gonna do it. Like, cause when you change your mind 5 times, I can't trust you. I can't believe anything you say. You know, and that's just me. You know what I mean? Wonk knows. You know what I'm saying? Like I give Wonk credit. When Wonk can't make it to a race, we'll be talking. Wonk be like, "Hey, yo, T Money, man, I ain't gonna make this one, bro. I gotta sit this one out." He don't be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try to do this." Like, and that goes into like the point we was talking about, like with the helping people too. Like people be pump faking like they want to help, pump faking like they gonna support, but it's like that's just all it is pump faking. I mean, I don't do a whole bunch of pump faking. Rollout don't do a whole bunch of pump faking. Walton don't do a whole bunch of pump faking. You know, so at the end of the day, like I said, the day's gonna end. We're gonna have some fun doing what we do. But like you've been successful over in your arena with the FE joint. You know, these cats that's on here right now, they've been very successful over in this world and been admired by a lot of individuals. And there's a lot of pretty dope cats down south too, man. You know, like Mo, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Mo ain't never did me wrong. He never steered me wrong. Shoot, Mo sent me a ESC for my wife's car one time. We ain't had one. Like he just volunteered. Like he's always, you know, treated me with the most utmost respect. And you know what I'm saying? Ain't did no crazy stuff. You know, so I got a lot of guys down south that I rock with like that. You know, we do what we do. And the ones that I don't, hey, they can't see them from my house. They can't see me from theirs. You know, that's just how it is. So, you know, where your pops at? Where he disappeared on you?
He's probably like in his room watching or something. I don't know.
And your trailer, them lights in y'all trailer, I meant to tell y'all, them honeycomb joints is funky. I like those.
Thanks.
Yeah, them joints funky. Yeah, you lucky I ain't already had mine custom built because I'd call you up and see where you got them at. Yeah. Like, CiCi, I'm going to steal them. Where you get them?
I got an extra set.
Yeah, them joints, hey, they funky though, man. Them joints is funky. I like those. That's different.
So let's get to talking about the race. Anthony, tell us, you did pretty good this weekend. Tell us about the classes you ran in. What car? Give us a reveal.
Oh, I ran in 220 index, bracket, and E-slide. Yeah, I can't seem to get around Tamon and roll out E-slide, so definitely didn't do nothing there. But I did all right in bracket. I came in second in bracket and then first place in 220.
Awesome. Congratulations. What car? What was your setup like?
So I run in those classes. I run a 10 scale touring car. I run a Serpent 748.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah. In all 3 of them classes.
Okay.
So really, kind of streamlined my racing for the time being, where I can take one car to the track and race in 3 different classes.
Nice. Smart. Right? Clean tires, start over. Go. Right?
Yep, that's it.
Nice.
Absolutely.
You wanna tell us, your gears, any secrets?
Anybody care about gear ratio in a 220 car?
Okay, can you tell us what battery you're running? What give us some secrets. You know you have some secrets.
I run a really nice NSX body that you can't seem to get no more. That they sold out of.
Okay.
And what else I got? I'm trying to. It's a basic touring car. It ain't nothing special about it. I promise you. It's just it's
All right, Mo.
yeah. I mean, I don't run nothing special. It's a stock 748. Actually, you know what? No. I almost told a lie. It's a 748 that I won from a raffle from Wonk.
With the Saga chassis.
Yep, that's it.
Blessing the RC community, you hear me?
Yeah. Between Wonk and Rollout, boy, I had a good week. I think I won a car from both of them the same day.
I remember that. I was feeling some type of way that day. I'm like, ooh, you got all of them. Ooh. Hey, Clay is belt driven. Belt driven. You want to know what are they belt driven?
Yeah, the 748 is a belt driven car. They're discontinued right now. Hopefully, Serpent come, bring them back again. But I don't think it's gonna happen.
They hit us with the pump fake before with that.
Yeah.
Bro, speaking of E-slides, I think we should holler talk to Mr. Rollout over here.
Yeah, that's
the
E-slide king right there.
Talk to Mr. Rollout.
Shit, I just I ran the E-slide in the 7 scale. That's all I ran this past weekend. I had my son with me. I won the A and B bracket in the E-slide class, and I think I went a couple rounds in the 7 scale. The car ran pretty good. I was more off than the car was in the 7 scale.
We lost them. I think we lost them.
Yeah, we lost the audio.
Is he on mute?
No.
He talking. He can't even hear.
Yeah, it seemed like he on mute, but he ain't.
Check him out. Now he talking though.
He driving through the sticks, man.
Oh man. Yeah. He driving through the sticks.
But it's crazy that his video was clear as hell.
I know, right?
Nobody can hear.
Nope. All right, we're gonna give Rollout like 45 seconds until he get out the woods. What about you, Wonk?
And give all them secrets out, Wonk.
Yeah. What about you, man?
Oh, y'all already know. I ran 7 scale class. And I ran 2-wheel drive on Sunday as well. I went to the finals on the 2-wheel drive. Yeah. I'm coming. I'm coming. I'll be there. You know what I mean?
I got the finals wheel.
Yeah.
I got the finals wheel, y'all.
Yeah. I ran 7 scale and 2-wheel drive. I won the 7 scale. I won the 7 scale class, and went to the finals on Sunday with the 2-wheel drive. So I had a good weekend. I ain't got no complaints.
That's good. Now I did see a viral clip that's like been all down my timeline of like you and Cody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, wifey said, "Do you want a t-shirt with that on it?"
I need that. Look. Here's the thing. I met Cody. You know what I'm saying? Well, Cody came around when I was in my prom. Like when I was in my prom. Like Cody was straight when he was like green. When he was like teammates with who was that T Money from North Carolina? What's his name? Slick.
Yeah, Slick.
Yeah. I remember when he was like green with this whole thing, and I was in my prime. That's when I couldn't be touched like at all. I don't care where I went. And eventually we got here because he came over to the 7 scale, and I gotta give Cody his flowers. He hyped it up and he spiced it up, came over and made himself comfortable, and he's doing his thing. But you know, we got here because me and him became frenemies in this 7 scale class, going at each other, and he's very competitive. I'm competitive, but you know what I'm saying, and he came in hot, and he beat me. We went to the finals in what was that? Flip Fest, actually, right? Yeah, Flip Fest, and he beat me in that, and he beat me a couple more times. So I ain't gonna lie, I got a little lazy with this. You know, I've been doing it for so long. I got a little lazy, half-assing with this, and I'm glad that my teammates. Shout out to my teammates, Street Empire, RC in Connecticut, and but I got a little lazy with it, where a lot of people started, dogging me down. But I found my fire again, and yeah, I dare you. I dare anybody right now, and Cody was one of them. You know, he had to find. I had to remind him who I was this past weekend. It's all love, but I had to put him in park. It's all love, but I had to put him in park. You know what I'm saying? And let him know, like, yo, if I really, I does this. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. That's how we got where we at now. A little rivalry got going on, but yeah, I had to park him and his teammate down again. Yeah, put him in park for the,
Put him in park.
yeah, I had to put him in park for a little bit because he was an overdrive. He was an overdrive, CC. So I had to put him in park. I had to put a boot on his car. You know what I'm saying? And let him know be.
Not a
So
boot on the car. And when they first lined up, Wonk raced him and Cody raced the GT car versus the SC car in Newport News.
Yeah. Yep, I remember that. And I gave him the leave, and I zip passed him on that one. Yeah. I gave him the leave with the SC because there was a whole big talk about the SCs could keep up with the GTs, but I gave him the leave on that one, and it didn't work out for him. You know what I'm saying? So we here. It's a good It's a good little rivalry with me and him. You know what I'm saying? Idols turn to rivals. You know what I mean? It's all good though. But
yeah.
it's all love with us. You know what I'm saying? So I had a good weekend. 7 scale was good. Won that, and yeah.
What kind of times were you running in 7 scale?
Huh?
What kind of times were you running?
My fastest pass was a 29 off the trailer against Mr. Rollout. Put him in park.
Okay.
Oh man,
That's my guy. Me and Rollout got this thing too. That's my guy. But T Money will tell you this rivalry been me and Rollout is way before Cody. Yeah, that's my guy. We go at it, and every time we see each other, we got to go at it. And it ain't nothing new, you know what I'm saying? But it's super fun though. It's super fun, like, cause with certain people I could you know what I'm saying, I could have fun with it, and there's nothing behind it at all. Like, there's not a pinch of animosity, no nothing. You can tell it's that real good fun grudging. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that I did a 29 off the trailer, and then after that, I pretty much locked in around like I don't think I went no higher than a 33 probably. I think I had one pass where I did like a high 3, but other than that, I locked in around like a 33, 32 every pass, and I had to turn my lumberjack switch on because there's some real competition out there, and you know what I'm saying? Like Darius, my guy Darius, that dude's he putting so much pressure on us. It's crazy. I mean, coming off the trailer running 29s himself and 30s, it's like, oh man, that's how you gonna set the tone. So, and Rollout came out there flying. Cody came out there. Hey. So you gotta have a little separation, or you know what I mean. So like you said, CC, when you get to you can have your tune, and somebody got your tune, and you got your tune. They still got to beat you down the track. So I know with these guys coming up, these guys running the same number I'm running, and Darius dropping 25 and all that. Yeah, I had to turn the lumberjack switch on. I had to turn that tree chop on, and yeah, that's what got me that win. You know what I'm saying? So I had a good weekend. I had a good weekend.
Okay.
Hey, can we hear Roll? We still can't hear Roll Out. Hey, Roll Out. Log out and log back in. It wasn't the sticks, y'all.
Yeah.
Here, we need to hear what Roll Out has
Boost Mobile. Mo has a question for you, Wonk. He said, "What is your gearing and what curve is in your ESC?"
My gearing is a 40 spur and a 40 pinion, and my curve is a negative 300.
Yeah, he works up to a 40 by the midpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now,
Yeah.
I believe
a
that.
lot. Listen, a lot of people don't think that it's true. Like, listen, you can run. A lot of people, it's a lot of, how can I say? I don't want to sound negative, but it's a lot of puppets in on this side of us. But a lot of people just they want to run, not puppets. I'm sorry. There's a lot of people that just they look up to people over here and they want to run what you running, and you know what I'm saying, and they want to run the same stuff you're running, and they want to run when you're winning, and they want to run the same chassis you're running. And I get it. It's motivation for some people, but it's also that thing is I
Can
always
y'all hear
tell
me now?
people. Yeah,
Yeah.
we hear you.
Okay.
I always tell people like, what works for me, it won't work for you. You got to go out there and try stuff. You know what I'm saying? Work hard and find what works for you.
I mean, I feel like that's in all drag racing. Like everybody
Yeah.
wants what the fast guy has.
Yeah, everybody wants what the fast guy got. You know what I'm saying? Like I know the whole castle thing is going on with the ghost and the green can and with the sensor thing, and that's cool. And them guys, I got some guys that's flying with it and etc. But I got a total opposite thing.
What you
I
got?
don't. I'm running, yeah, and a lot of people don't believe me, but I got a TP motor in my car. A lot of people don't think you can do it, but I'll
Ain't
show
nothing
you
wrong with
different.
TP.
Ain't nothing wrong with any of that.
I show people different. A lot of people think that I couldn't come out with the traction remote and keep up with Futaba's and everything like that, and I showed them that was different.
Yeah, ain't
Okay.
nothing wrong with TP at all. What we saying? Roll out.
No, I would say that I think with that whole sensor to non-sensor, I mean, it in the right hands it can be dangerous. I mean, that's just how it is. You just whatever you put forth the effort into it, you can figure it out.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Oh yeah.
I'll give people that. I'll give people that TP and China Hobby batteries. And if they don't believe me, I don't got my car here, but I'd have took the hood off and show y'all.
Yeah.
So how do you make your prep?
For me, make my prep.
Mhm.
Oh, I make prep with corn syrup and cornstarch. That's it. I used to make a lot of. I used to sell prep like T Money and everybody like that like a couple years ago. But I kind of just like, it's a lot of work and trying to keep up with your cars and etc. like that. It's a lot, man. It gets tiring a little bit. So I'd just rather support my brothers and buy everybody else prep, and you know what I'm saying. I used to make high C and everything like that, but that's all I used to use was corn syrup and just cornstarch and some food coloring. That's it.
So whose prep, or did you use your own prep Saturday?
I use two of my teammates' prep. I use Jose's prep, the Toto juice, and my other teammate. He gets out when he can. My teammate Dre. Dre makes a badass prep too. And I started out with Dre's prep, and that got me through the rounds. I ran out of it, and I went straight to Toto juice, and now I finished up with that.
Hey man, why the whole pronunciation change when you say total?
Cause you gotta say it like you Spanish. You can't say tutu or it's Toto.
You gotta say it like that.
for a minute, I thought you was Spanish.
Nah, I'm not. A lot of people think I am, but I'm not.
No.
Nah, I look at
Where you said it, you definitely had rolling some R's.
Nah. I'm around them, so you know what I mean. You become a product of your environment. You know what I'm saying? So I start talking like I'm around them. So much.
Hey, look. He said, "Yeah, I use my Dr. Dre, and I use this, and I use that Toto. Use Toto.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, look, his back went hunched and everything. I thought he was getting ready to mango.
It's a good prep, and it's a good prep. He got to be good prep. T Money got. I use T Money prep a lot. I've been flying on T Money prep for a long time too. You know, and even when I was making my prep, I still was supporting T Money prep as well.
Hey, Darius. Oh, here go Darius, boy.
Darius has another question. He said, "What is the wheelie bar length, and do you use any weight on the front?"
No, I used to use weight on the cars, but no, I found a setup that worked for me that I don't have to use weight at all. and my wheelie bars are 22-inch long, 24-inch long.
24, no weight.
Yes, one of my cars is a 24.
So you want to tell us how you like figured it out and set up your car?
Huh?
Well, I mean, listen, the worst thing he can say is no, so I might as well just ask it. You know what I'm saying?
Ask what? What are you asking?
So, like, are you going to tell us how you use no weight in the front and how you set up your car?
Oh, no, I don't have a problem. I shared that, and even like with a bunch of guys, even in Zello and all that. I shared it actually this morning. I like to run. Me personally, I don't run any droop in the front of my car, and I run my front shocks completely soft all the way up, tensioned up in the front. And my rear, I run like half, not too stiff, because I want my car to squat. I want my car to dig as much as possible. I have found that way for me to work, and I do run a slight droop in the rear. And by not having droop in the front with a soft suspension in the front, when the car goes to lift up so fast, my arms drop down. So it keeps me planted. That's what keeps me straight.
So, what's your rod height?
My ride height?
Yeah.
I never measure my ride height. As long as the front of my car is lower than the back of my car, it has to just be rake perfect.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
But by running no droop in the front and all the electronics on the car, it rakes the car automatically to its liking, if it makes sense.
Yeah, it's just like CiCi. Like some people use setup stations.
Yeah,
And
I
then
don't use
people
setup
ain't-
station.
Yeah, I don't use setup stations either. Like some people ain't never used a setup station. They eyeball that joint, go out rolling around the street in the front.
I'm
Next
not
thing
saying
you
that
know,
the setup station. I'm not saying that the setup station don't work. I'm not saying it don't work. It's just I tried it a few times and it might work for some people, but when you're moving, like when you're adjusting your turnbuckles and everything, your dials are moving on the station. So what do you really know where you're at? Like, you see what I'm saying?
Well, I use them. I use them on my car, and honestly, I use them a lot because I have like 2 cars. So I kind of just make sure, like, if I'm using my backup car, that we're at the same place on both cars. Type shit. Just in case I need to use that backup car.
hey, Pettway, is Malcolm and them back in?
I've
Yeah.
used setup station on my SC, but on my 7 scales, like my phone tire cars, I don't use that at all. But I've found on my phone cars, for some reason, even coming off the setup station, man, I find my tires getting comfortable. Like, you know what I'm saying, wearing a little more in the inside than outside. So I stopped using it on my what's the name? I might use it to get the weight, the actual weight of my vehicle, but that's about it. To make sure, I got that 50-50 or the 55-45. That's about it. But as far as like you adjusting turnbuckles and stuff, I use a square.
Yeah, I hear a lot of people use a square too. I don't use either. I don't use a square. I don't use a setup station. Sounds weird, but I just don't.
Yeah.
When you're just pro like that and you can look at the car and be like, good enough.
He's the same.
It's not like being cocky. It's just the way I found I like to do it. You know what I'm saying? Other people found ways and they do it their way.
It's not being cocky. It's just
not cocky. It's just experience. Like, it's just what I found. What I like to do with it. Like, I don't use no squares. I don't use none. I don't.
Because I'm pretty sure Wonk does similar stuff. Like I'll go out, like I'll build a car, go out and make like 3 passes, right? And then I start seeing if it's, if the tires coning, if I see anything funky happening, then I'll make adjustments. Then I'll make 2 or 3 more passes. Then I'll see what's coning. Like I do that until the car is doing what I want it to do. And normally, especially with a 10 scale right now, like normally within like 3-4 passes, I'm where I need to be at setup wise. With a 7 scale, it's probably taking about 15 passes, you know what I'm saying, to get where I need to get to at the moment. But I don't like Rollout said, when I used to use a setup station like one time or 2 times on my 10 scale foam tire car, and it's like it was more messed up like when I took it off the setup station than it was, you know what I'm saying, than when I just did the joint with the freehand eyeball type joint. So it just works for certain people, sometimes or whatever. What up, Joe?
What's going on?
Malcolm and Joe in the building.
Joe
What up,
Joe,
fellas?
what up?
What it do? What it do? What it do?
Yeah, we want to know what it do.
Hey.
Talk to us about y'all's experience on this weekend, and my man getting in the winner circle. Like, tell us about the kind of car you running, chassis. Share any top secret stuff like your gearing and your tunes and all that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we all know it ain't no free world no more. It ain't no free willy game. The free game has been given out. People got to put that work in, man. Motor combos, all that stuff. You can get all that stuff. Most people know gearing. Most people just don't want to work. So, hey, you just got to work. Everybody done been there, done it, tore stuff up. I'm working with all spare part stuff over here. I ain't got nobody's new chassis, banded chassis or nothing. We all working on stock cut chassis. We buy our own carbon fiber, cut it different. That's a damn front. That's a side plate off a TSG car. I mean, hey, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? We do what we got to do to make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what Revo shocks on there?
Revo, Traxxas, Jado, whatever. Hey,
whatever you got in the box.
Hey, man, and it works. It worked. You know what I'm saying? People going out spending all them thousands of dollars and want to be all fancy. Okay, go ahead.
I hear you, sure.
Yeah. You know me. I'm a friend self, and I'm gonna go find something up in the recycle bin outside. And yeah. See, like I said, that's my car. What I'm running right now.
That's that Ace of Spades.
TSG plate, center plate for the 7 scale. I just, what I'm saying, put me a old damn AE front end on it from off of Street Eliminator. Everything's still flat all the way across the bottom, just like the 7 scale chassis are. Everything's still nice and flush.
That's the Ace of Spades.
That's the Ace of Spades.
Hey, it worked. I had no problem. She went in the 4s out there, 101.50 off the trailer. I'm not mad at the car. The car goes straight. She does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, Mr. 145.
Yeah, but this the winner car. This is the winner's car though. So this was the most, I guess, the valuable one in here right now.
Hey Joe. Speaking of that, Joe. Hey Joe, how are you feeling, Joe? Because you kind of popped up on the scene, like, people know of you, but like people may not have heard your name as frequently as some of the other people that's in the 2-wheel drive game. So when you was out there starting round 1 and going rounds, like, what was your thought process, man?
Honestly, I was just hoping that it would keep going. It was really just the car started working for me. Once the car came together, the prep combination started working. We figured out we had, depending on where we were taking off, which lane we were in, really, I had to change my prep game to work the same in each lane. And once we figured that out, the car really just started working, going A to B, and I was just like, cross my fingers, trying not to jinx it, going as far as I can.
So you put a good point out there, right? Something that I think we should elaborate on, and we can open it up to anybody to elaborate on it. Like when you say you had to evaluate each lane to make your prep work the same in each lane. Well,
I ain't gonna say the same, but as best as I could.
Like, for example, like you may have a more saturated lane in the right lane, right? Maybe people was wider than they was, whatever. In the left lane, you may have more of a groove. So some people may jump out the groove here and there, so it's not as much prep or whatever. Or maybe when people scraping is, one lane is being scraped a little bit better than the other lane when people do it. Like, what are some of the things that you're looking at when you go up to the line to prep to ensure that you can get the same consistent performance in both lanes, even though they may be a little bit different?
Well, if I'm in a lane where there's a just like one main steady groove, I'll just set this thing right there in the middle of the groove and make sure my wheelie bar is right. As long as I got the right prep for that groove, depending on whether it really depends on how much the prep that's already there is glazing up. Once it starts getting hard, you know, that's really when you have to kind of change your game up a little bit, because it's almost like starting over. You know, it gets really slick. So you had to change the game up depending on how it was. In my opinion, the tighter groove where most people were taking off seemed to glaze up the quickest, but it would also track my car the straightest as long as I used the prep that we were using.
Yeah, so it's like to your point, like I know for me, when I'm going up there looking at the line, if you do have a start line that has multiple grooves, wider, surface or whatever, I'll try to find matching 11s, right?
Right,
And then
exactly.
what I'll try to do also is I'll take my foot and I'll go and I'll put my foot in it and I'll drag my foot back to reactivate the prep on the top, because it may be glazed on the top, but if you break that top layer, you can reactivate it. And I normally try to reactivate it with my foot. And as soon as I reactivate it, then I'll put my car down and I'll prep my car to its liking and then get up in my stance. So like that's an example like what I look for in each lane. So you can have like different stuff going on in both lanes, but if you can find that common denominator, that's how you can equalize your prep and make it work on both sides.
Right. So boom. This is how we test. I will get this. We want the best groove. We want the thickest groove. We want that 7-scale groove. That's what we looking for. So for the people that come into the track and want to start their own prep lane and all that, they're already tuning backwards to me. Because you want to be able to leave as hard as possible under any circumstance. You're going to get to a track where you ain't going to be able to make a new pad. You're going to get to a track where it's going to be sticky. It's on, you know what I mean? You're going to have to be able to work with it. And I've seen cars that couldn't leave off them lines, cars that couldn't, you know what I'm saying? So they need to tune to leave as hard as possible in those thick grooves.
Right.
That's already set to be out there. What if it's in a scrape out there? You might not be able to scrape that groove up. So you need to work off that. And then on the backside, if you want to do some drop and go testing on a light groove, you can do that. But you need to work to be the fastest and the most. I mean, you want to be dominant. You want to be able to put that car down anywhere and send that motherfucker. I mean, a fucking Cali style grooves, how we call it, right? Excuse my language. Cali style grooves, where they damn near got 15-foot groove, 20-foot groove I done seen out there. And they starting at the very back of it. If your bandit can't leave out of there, you still got work to do.
And you know what, Malcolm, to your point, that's when I started dragging my foot, right? Because at first I used to just go up there and just put my car down, and then sometimes the joint be to the right, to the left, and I'm like, damn, I can't get out the prep. And I was like, why is that the case? And then I start understanding like the prep drying up and the top layer being a little bit slick, and it's not going to grab as good if it's not broke. So that's it, man.
You gotta have a tune for it too.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I've seen some. I don't even remember who it was. Somebody went up there, and I think I was joking them at first because they went up there and they put their foot down. I was like, damn, why he putting his feet all up in the groove like that? Like he get dirt all up on the track, like, and he did it right. And his car said, I said, hold on, wait a minute.
Woke it back up.
Man, so when I started testing, bro, and getting out there, I started dragging my foot, and I just noticed that when I would drag my foot and reactivate the prep, it ain't matter how thick it was or how thin it was, I was able to leave out of it every single time because I understood how I needed to create that lane for myself to make sure that the prep worked like it needed to.
That's right. That's
I
right.
have a question. So is it different than like just scraping the lane?
Yeah.
Like different the way your car gonna react?
Like when you're talking about like how it's slick, right? When there's a crap ton of prep, it's been sitting there for a minute before the next round starts or whatnot. It's better to walk on it and like kind of drag your foot than it is to necessarily like scrape it to reactivate it or to get on top of it.
Scraping it takes the layer off. When you step on it, what you're doing is you're bringing the tackiness from the bottom back up to the top.
Yeah.
And when you set your car down in it, you're gonna feel the tightness rolling it back and forth in it because now that prep is reactivated from what's underneath is back to the top and it's more stickier.
That's right.
And then you need to start understanding how you need to prep. So if you was prepping real tight when you was breaking it at first, maybe earlier in the day when it wasn't as thick, then you can do your thing. But like, I think I seen a comment like Mo or somebody put a comment up. Like if you got a super thick groove and you breaking the top to bring the thickness back to the top, you might not be able to use a super thick prep anymore. You might have to lighten your prep up so you can neutralize things to leave you the same way that you was earlier.
And that's the difference between. That's why I like going to Tamon races, because every now and then he might do a launch pad race where you can port the line every now and then, but most of the time it's drop and go, so you can really test your tune and you can really see how your car is really working when you are at them drop and go races, because it's easy to make your pad, it's easy to just port the line and make your car comfortable for yourself, but stepping out of that, out of that comfortable zone to another level, and then you really can see what your car doing. So
yeah, that's like I don't know about the Bandits, but the 7 scales, like my car, when I'm running a lot, when I'm able to prep at the line, I'll scrape. You'll see me scrape it before every pass.
Right.
But being at T Money's race, drop and go, I know, like, all right, I need that thickness of that
Right.
that
There
prep
you
down.
go.
You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, I can't prep it at the line, so that's why I didn't scrape this whole weekend. You know what I'm saying? So just gotta find what your car likes.
That's right.
You know what's so crazy? CiCi, I know you hear people say, you can't run fast times when you drop. And my drop and go is you get to put your car like a car length basically in front of the line, and you can roll it back as many times as you would like. So they can create like a launch pad, quote unquote, but it's not like a 4, 5, 6 foot launch pad. It's a foot in front of the line, and you roll your car back until you like it, right? But the thing about it is, if you notice, like Malcolm, you can speak to it. Wonk, like in April, guys was running like 128s and 126s and 129s, and like even this past weekend, we had like 2 or 3 guys running 1.2s, and then a lot of the fast guys was running 1.31s and 1.30s and 1.32s. So you don't need, like, we've seen the same exact times in a drop and go race that we've seen at a race with 5 or 6 feet of a launch pad. So am I gonna sit here and say, oh, you can't run faster at all? No, I'm not gonna say that. But I will say, if you see anything, a difference, you may see a 1.29 to a 1.27 or 1.28 with a launch.
That's what I was about to say. Maybe up to a half a tenth difference, but a lot less though. I don't even think it'd be that much.
I was gonna say, honestly, I really don't even think it's any difference anymore, because you think about it, and me and Wonk went off the trailer. I think we were probably like the 3rd or 4th car that went down. There wasn't even a lot of prep down. And he went 29 and I went at 34. Like, there was really, and it was drop and go. There wasn't a whole bunch of prep. It's more or less now your car. Your car got to be set up to be able to leave how it's supposed to leave with the prep that you're using. Your prep got to match your setup on your car.
So I have a question. Okay. So let's just say, like, I set my groove down and it's very sticky, and I'm running a 2-wheel drive class, right? So I know my car needs to be sticky, but I don't know if it's going to be too sticky. Like when it gets like, when you're prepping and it like kind of wants to stay there and you have to pick the car up, almost like use a lot of force. That pop, right? Mm-hmm. Should I be like turning up my point in my radio to be leaving harder? Yep. Or should I just not be prepping as tight?
Well, I used a 2-wheel drive with foam tires this weekend, and when I didn't have my point up, I think my 6 foot was like a 250, 260. So when I bumped my point up, just my point, my 6 foot went from that 260 down to a 219. So, and that's because the line was a little more tackier. And I like you, to your example, when I was pulling the car up and rolling it and picking it up, it was popping. So I was like, let me try this. And I took the point up and it left harder. So to your point, yes, when you get to that line and you feel like you seeing that pop, or you feel like it's really sticky, turn that point up. So that way the car's not holding back, trying to leave. You giving it enough extra power to snatch up out of there.
Right. And when you do a drop and go race, you cannot scrape the line. It's more so like you just get off.
Yeah, you want to build up.
So you want to drop and go, you can't scrape.
Yeah. You want to build up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. You want that prep to carry on out there.
Yeah, you'll see. But I'm gonna tell you what the trick is too, though. Not more so now than in the summertime, but in the summertime, if you leave that track dormant for about 20, 30 minutes, then that 15 to like 30-foot range, that prep gonna dry up. And you're gonna lose grip in that range. So I'm gonna tell
And
you,
low temperatures. Yeah.
yep, I'm gonna tell you this, but this the thing though, and for the people who watching this, CC, if people been watching and they paying attention, they actually learning something if they're really listening, right? When you get to the point where a track starts to dry up at that 15 to 30-foot mark, you need to learn how to manage your leave, calm the car down to get through that area, and then ramp the power back in to run out the back door. And what majority of people do, they keep the tune the same. And they leave the line, but then they don't do anything from that 15 to 30-foot mark, and then they spin. And they lose that ET, they lose the momentum, and then they can't run the number that they want to run ET wise or the mile per hour out the back because they're giving up so much in that 15 to 30-foot mark. That 15 to 30-foot mark is important. Like that 6 foot and 10 foot, that's where your meat and potatoes is at. But if you put the power in around that time frame and you get into that 10 to 15-foot mark and you dumping that power, but it's slippery out there, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I say that because, again, there's a lot of guys that aren't as savvy or don't have as much, knowledge or experience, and they go out there and they wondering why they was running a 139, 140, but now they're running 151s and 152s for like 2 hours, and then they're getting frustrated. Instead of them reading the track and understanding where the grip is at and adjusting to it, they just keep doing the same old thing. And that goes back to people not learning or not being curious to understand like what happens, and they get somewhere by themselves. And like Malcolm, how many times we see people at the track, what I'm saying, they gonna make their pass, they be like, hey yo, so I just ran a 149, right? And it was like 85 miles. I had the turbo wet. Nah, man. I'm on the phone with my homeboy, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ain't on the phone.
Next thing you know, he got his back turned with his control in his hand, with his phone like this.
Watching the live feed, bro. So you see my 10-foot mark, right? See, you can't really be successful. You can't be successful doing that. You gotta learn. To your point, CC, you said when your pop said, you're gonna build your own kit so you can learn your own car, right? You gotta build your own car so you can learn it, so you can know it. You gotta build your own tunes off of people's information that they share with you so you can learn it, you can adjust. If you can't do those things, you're gonna struggle at the track, man. You're gonna struggle.
Oh,
yeah. I've been doing this for 16 years, and I still find myself sometimes out there trying to figure out what the hell are you doing, Tamon?
hey, look, I'm gonna give y'all an example, and this is something. This is for the E-slide. If y'all ever pay attention to me with that, y'all don't. I line up in the same groove every time. Wherever I start at by that start of the race with testing tune is where I line up in to the end of the race. If you look, I don't know if y'all ever pay attention when we started the E-slide stuff and doing them burnouts on the line. After a while, there's a big couple, like 4 little patches of rubber. You want to leave on that because now you've built up rubber on that ground. Rubber on rubber is sticky. So once the car starts leaving it consistently, you start getting the groove. Now you can throw more power to it as the race continues on, as the testing continues on. I learned that, and then I took that from the 7 scale stuff, watching that, and I applied now with the E-slide stuff as far as the rubber tires. Same thing with SC. When you build your own, when you start a spot, stick with it. Don't keep lining up in different spots. I've watched people, and I sat and watched people change this. So line up here, line up there, do a burnout here, go there. Don't do this burnout, but then get out there in the track, car wiggling and going all crazy down the track. But then wonder why are you doing this? Man, consistency. Anything that you do with these cars, may it be a rubber tire, foam tire, whatever, you got to find yourself a consistent way of routine of doing the same thing that way, and then understanding your surface that you're racing on.
So with Rollout saying that, let's go ahead and elaborate on something, right? Me and Rollout had this conversation yesterday. We sit out there and we watch dudes with the E-slides, right? And there are some basic things that people are not doing that can help them get down the track. And one of them he just touched on. There's some cats that they go out there. Let's start at the burnout rug, right? Nobody says that you have to spray a half a bottle of Simple Green on the carpet. If you notice too, this game, I hope the East Side guys is listening. If you notice too, by the time we get to like maybe the end of the first round, like the carpet is saturated with Simple Green. So as long as you make a burnout on the carpet that's been sprayed with Simple Green, that qualifies as you doing your Simple Green burnout. You don't have to physically pick up the bottle and show somebody that you're spraying it on the side that we doing the burnout, right? You just gotta do a burnout in the Simple Green. Also, you don't have to do a 10-second burnout in the Simple Green. If you do, your tires probably gonna be wet as shit. And then even when you go to the line to do a burnout, they probably gonna still have wetness between the grooves and the cracks. And then when you take off, your car gonna spin like crazy and your ass ain't gonna get down the track. I hope y'all East Side guys are listening. So I know for me, right? I ain't gonna tell you exactly how many seconds I do, but I have a certain amount of seconds and a certain amount of Simple Green that I do a burnout, right? And then I'll go over to the dry side and I'll do a certain amount of seconds. In this race previously, I had a tip gun because if I made a great pass, I wanted to know what temperature my tires was at. So then I go to the line and there's a certain amount of seconds that I do a burnout again, and I pay attention to, like Rollout said, I pay attention to the little 4 black marks, and I'm trying to be as close to them as possible. And then I send my car. Now, the moral of the story is what I just shared is there's guys out there, they go out there, do a 10-second Simple Green burnout, saturate the carpet, and then they go straight to the line. They don't dry their stuff off where they go. Then they go to the line, they do a little 2-second joint, and then they stage their car. And then they spin out or they get halfway down the track and they crash. Burnouts, y'all. Burnout and tire temp is very important. I digress. Pettway, Rollout, y'all want to add anything else? Shucks. Burnout,
Stop complaining about not being able to do something if you're not willing to put the work in to do it.
Yep.
Plain and simple. If you can't physically say that you went out there, you've been busting your butt doing something different, not stuck on the same stuff, you've been actually trying different things, fighting it, then you can't complain, man. You can't complain. It take work. Like I've been working on bandits for years and finally getting quick with them. So I mean,
hey Malcolm, but for people that don't know that about you though, they think that you just snap your fingers and it happened.
No, you know sir.
Everybody on this line, I'm looking at cats on this line. And every last one of these dudes, they did not roll out, didn't come out lighting the world on fire with 7 skill in a month. Wonk didn't come out lighting up the GTs on fire in a month. Like Pettway didn't come out lighting up SEs in a month. Like this stuff is accumulated through over time. I'm not gonna tell people business, but it accumulates through crashes. It accumulates through malfunctions of equipment, burning up PSCs, motors locking up. Like it all that stuff over 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, 2 years. Like this stuff is happening for a long time before people get out. Now, with that being said, because I know CiCi probably about to jump in. With that being said, the difference between now and 7-8 years ago, we probably had 25% of the people out there that could actually help us. These days, every other person or every third person can help you enough to get down the track and be competitive. There are a lot more resources to help you these days in 2025 than what it was in 2018, 2019, 2020. Right. There wasn't a whole bunch of people that I could just go to and say, hey man, I'm struggling. You know, like when I was on the top of the game with the GT World, roll out, they'll tell you, there was like a good 2 years, 2.5 years, I was killing dudes. Cujo is synonymous in the GT world. You know, I was like Wonk was doing dudes right now. And that was back then. You know, I stopped running GTs, I moved on to the next thing. But it's like we didn't have resources. But like people would reach out to me when Rollout had his joint. He called LeBron. They reach out to him. Like everybody was out there. Chris Kennedy, Barry Snowden. Like the boys was out there rolling with H-Tails, man. You know. So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, it's easier for you to find someone and locate a resource today way easier than it was 7-8 years ago to find a resource. So when I say it took some of us a year and a half, 2 years to learn some of the stuff, it's not because we slow or we on a short bus. It's because we out there by ourselves because there wasn't no resources to leverage. You know, you had a trial and error, and CiCi, that's why you hear a lot of guys these days too, especially the OGs of the game. That's why you hear this a lot. They say, why am I gonna give my setup away when I spent all my time? I spent thousands of dollars. I broke a whole bunch of parts. I bought 35 gears from Saga at $20 a gear. Like, I ain't just gonna give you my stuff. You hear more OGs saying that than you hear some of the new guys, because the new guys didn't have to go through all of that and do those things as much as we did 7, 8, 9 years ago because we didn't have the resources. Now that's not nobody's fault that's new. Let's get that clear. It's not anybody who in the game in the last 2 or 3 or 4 years. It's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? I'm just giving you the backstory on why some people may give you that not you literally, CiCi. I'm just saying in general. Somebody might give somebody that dialogue like, nah, not all the money and all that I spent. I ain't giving away nothing. It's because of the different times and the different ways people got to the places they at. If that makes sense.
I understand that.
Yeah, it's nobody's fault though. Like nobody is like.
But I'm a different person. So like, let's say like I just go down the track, guys. I blow my ESC. So Anthony is running in the same class I am, and he has the same tune. And let's just say I gave Anthony the tune. I'm gonna tell Anthony not to do that. I'm gonna tell Anthony what I did and what I did wrong, so he doesn't also have to break his ESC, his battery, his car from my mistakes that I also just made. Right?
We should do that.
Me personally, helping someone can stop them from blowing up a $300 ESC or losing parts or not having a good time in a race. I'm gonna make sure I can make that happen if I can. You know what I'm saying? I'm listen. Y'all can all say like I'm too nice or whatnot, and I share too much information. But generally, because I do come from SC and where guys share information. If guys didn't share information, I wouldn't be this fast in foam tire now. I wouldn't be this fast in SC, right? So I always give out what I receive. I put out so I can receive good. If I come to Wonk and ask for help from Wonk, I'm not going to tell everybody else what Wonk told me, right? But I'm going to use that information to help better myself. And if someone else comes, I can learn in the future what Wonk gave me, what the difference was, how could I help them get down the track. That's just me being CiCi. I'm not saying everybody else has to be like CiCi or anything like that, but if I can stop somebody from crashing their car into a billion pieces and saying, F this, I'm going home, I'm going to do that.
So two things, CiCi, because you split up the discussion again. The first thing is you absolutely positively, if you see somebody doing something that you know is going to burn up their system, causing the crash, you absolutely, as a fellow RC racer, need to do something. If you can go over there and help and share, do something. Please don't watch me make a mistake or you see me putting something in my car, tune or something, and
but hold on, let me cut you off. Are we talking race day or are we just talking overall? Because race day, I'm talking
about race day and test day. Because let me tell you something.
Now race day, if you need a part, you know.
If I'm racing you, okay, I'd rather beat you because we had a close race than beat you because you didn't show up to the line.
Nah, it ain't. See, it ain't. I don't look at it like that.
You'll take that win. You'll take that win because that win gets you closer to the money, right? I don't necessarily want to take that win because I came here to race. It's a difference.
I mean, I understand the difference.
That first place trophy, I have a crap ton of them. Okay, I have a lot, right? Right, and I do it because I race because I enjoy doing it. One, with my dad, and because I have fun doing it. Other than that, I could give two less craps, right? So if I can help somebody have a better time at the race time or race with somebody, I don't want to be alone.
But what if helping somebody causes you in your program to go down?
And we talked about that earlier. I don't care if I gave you my backup car and you use my backup car and beat me, or you use my backup car to race me. You still have to cut a better light than me. You still have to be at that finish line before me.
Yeah, you're a nice person. You're a real nice person.
This what I would say,
Yes,
CiCi.
I'm not. Yes, I am a nice person. I am. I take it with 100%. Thank you. I enjoy being a nice person, but I
It's
want to.
just
I don't want to win knowing that I didn't
we
want to
just
win knowing
competing.
that would have helped you in a way that could have got you down the track for us to have a better race. You know what I'm saying?
I
I don't
get
want
We
you
keep
I
to
get
splitting up. We keep splitting up the conversation though. Stop for a second. Hold on. So the first thing I was trying to get to was, if say for instance you say, yo, I'm running a 27 Kenyan, like you say like, man, my joint ain't really riding that great or whatever. And I'm running a 27 Kenyan on a 48 spurt, right? And I know that I have the same similar setup to you, and I burn up a whole bunch of shit, right? I at the track, whether it's practice or whether we at the race, I'm gonna say, CiCi, you do what you want to do. But you living on the edge with that 27-48. Like you probably gonna burn something up. I don't want to see you burn something up, but it's your choice. So to answer the question, CiCi, I'm gonna help you out like that. I'm not gonna let you like just go burn your stuff up.
Nah, me neither. Me neither.
I don't know about like giving you my tune at the track for me and you to race in the next round.
No.
I'm not gonna do that. And as far as what you talked about with you made a statement earlier that said if I go to Wonk and I get Wonk's tune, I'm not gonna give it to anybody else. But Wonk just told all of us, like, that's the problem that he has seen, that he would help people. They would go help somebody, give them exactly what he gave them, and then they would go to the next person. So like that's why people won't share some of that stuff like that. So
that's why a lot of stuff has been changed as far as sharing information.
So you CiCi, you might not do that, but the majority of the people will, and that's what is a deterrent for some of the guys not to want to share some of their latest and greatest secrets, because everybody's not going to take the perspective that you take. With, if Tamon shows me something secret, I'm not going to go tell everybody because he didn't have to share that with me, but it's going to help my program. Majority of people don't do that. And then when Tamon don't like Malcolm no more because Malcolm homeboy don't like Tamon, then all of a sudden Malcolm going to go to Joe and be like, yo, man, come on, man, let's go ahead and get faster. And the next thing you know, then they get kicked off the team. Then they on another team. Now we teammates. Now let's share information and see, it just keeps going and going and going and going. So, you just got to look at it from that perspective. Like, I don't want you burning stuff up. I'm not going to let nobody.
Definitely don't.
I think it also comes from, I don't know. I think it also comes from me having a wall of sponsors, right? If someone's using Get Stuck, which is a prep, right? Like, say you're sponsored by Toto Juice, right? And you're using it, and you're not getting off the line, or you're not using it correctly. My job as a sponsor is to help you.
Right?
My job, if you're using a Taba remote, my job is to make sure that you're using all of its accessibilities in it to make your performance better. If you're running the same chassis, if you're running Dynotech tires, I'm going to be making sure, hey, you're getting it cut to the right amount, and know that, like, hey, it's down to this amount. You might not going to have the best launch, but you're going to definitely have that acceleration. That's when it comes to me always helping, because I have sponsors that expect me to go to races. And if I see someone struggling that is using that product or isn't using that product, and that this product can help you do better, that is my job to help you. That is I'm not going to say it's my job, but that's like my duty as an ambassador to help other people perform successfully at races. Now, you can say that's being nice, or I'm not necessarily giving you my tune. I told you, giving you my tune will not help you get down the track, because we have different setups. It might actually hurt you more than help.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we in the car. Yeah, the original question rollout was, would you help somebody? Like, if you seen somebody was doing something wrong that that would probably be detrimental, whether it be their car catching on fire.
That wasn't the original question. The original question that he asked me was that a lot of people spend hard work, money, time, parts. They've been doing this for years and spent a whole lot of money, time, and parts. Why would they help you? That was the original question.
Now, you talking about when we got into this conversation, you talking about the beginning.
That was the OG question, right?
No, not before we got into this conversation. We talked about that at the beginning. This conversation, I gave you an example of why some OGs may get that response from them, because there's two different eras. Back in 2018, 19, 20, we had 25% of the people that were knowledgeable enough to help people. As with now, there's 75% of the people out there that you can pretty much find anybody to help you for the most part. So, and I said for new folks like yourself in the game in the last 3 or 4 years, it's not your fault that you have way more resources to help you go faster, quicker. It's just that OGs in the game had to work. They had to be out there by themselves. They didn't have nobody to help them as much. They had to spend more money, buy more gears, break more stuff, burn more ESCs up. They had to go through a whole lot more trials and tribulations to get to the point that they're at. So you hear OGs say more often than the newer folks, yo, I ain't go through all that and spend all my money just to give my stuff away. And I said, ain't nobody wrong. Like, their thought process is fine. And ain't nobody wrong for being newer to the game. That's what the conversation was prior to this conversation. And you asked, so would you help anybody? And I was starting to say I would help somebody at the track to make sure they wouldn't make a mistake. And Malcolm jumped in and cut my head off. And then that's when the conversation went to, are we talking about at practice? We talking about practice? Or are we talking about the race?
Let me say this. Let me say all right. So from a experience, and everybody knows this, I went through 16 XL2s total. Okay. And I'm not sponsored by Castle or nothing. Everybody said I ain't bucking with them when they went, because they kept clicking this. I said, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure out why they're doing this. Took me 16 of them to figure out what the issue is. Now, when a person comes to me with an XL2, they roll out, what should I give them the help? Because I went through the process of spending $3,600 on ESCs so that I can help the next person not have to go through that process. Now, am I going to give you the exact gearing? No, but what I'm going to tell you are the parameters so that you do not do the same, make the same mistakes that I made as far, and they weren't really mistakes. They were learning curves.
Exactly.
It's all about how you're going. Am I going to give you the exact gearing? No. But what I'm going to give you are the parameters of what you need to look for so that you don't make those same mistakes. And that way you can save and you can be successful with your equipment.
And that's good because that makes people, like, if you get into this hobby, you're already spending so much money on just a charger for your battery, okay? Your car, your everything. If you could save people money on parts by helping them out, giving them basic things to learn and telling them, hey, this would be better, this will help you get down the track. One, it's expensive. And then two, they need to have fun. If you're not having fun with this and you're just spending money and you're going out every weekend, it costs more to lose than it does to win.
We agree, but CiCi, that's the point. We all agree. Like what you just said, we all agree on that. We don't.
And I'm agreeing with.
Yeah, we don't like nobody. We're gonna use our experiences to make sure you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. You don't have to burn your car up and be over and get all upset because now you can't rate. Like we're saying the same thing. We're saying if we see somebody out there that we can help not make the same mistakes, whether it's money, whether your tire size is too tall and you can't get down the track further than 6 feet. Like if we can help somebody not make the same mistakes and cost them money and time and mental stress, then we're all going to help. Like we all agree on that.
Yeah, a lot of people just ain't gonna listen.
That's the thing.
Yeah,
that's it.
I got a list of people. And I will say them, so don't tempt me. But they will not listen. Y'all know how I am. I will say them. But it's just everybody not gonna take what you give them, man. And that's just plain and simple. That's just plain and simple. I hate to say it, but
it's true. It's true. Some people just don't want to listen. And CiCi, I'm pretty sure you know some people in the SE world that no matter how much you help them, they still gonna go do what they gonna do, and they gonna do everything the opposite of what you told them to, and then they gonna come back to you and be like, I need some help. And you can be like, didn't I just go over something for like 2 hours? You try any of it? Well, I went back and Pettway told me that maybe I should try this, so I didn't try it yet, but I'm gonna try it now after I fix my car. Like, come on, man.
Get ready. I'm getting ready to get off, but I know earlier y'all were asking me some questions and they couldn't hear me, and I didn't what you didn't hear or not. So I don't know if you want to ask, or we we good to go.
Actually, I wanted to ask earlier what cars you were running in the winning, and what was your battery, stuff like that. Details about what's inside your car.
Yeah, the whole east side.
Gears included.
Nah, not to get
The whole east side.
See,
Serpent.
T-Money don't want you to share the secrets. Me and Anthony, we would love the secrets to share.
Roll out a grown ass man. And Roll out told you earlier, if you ain't hear him the first time, he ain't giving you his gearing. He'll give you a range, but he ain't giving you his gear. I know my teammates.
He might be tempted now. Don't untempt him. Yeah, I'm very persuasive. So help out. You know,
or 11 Serpent with the Ventura body. It's a European body. And I run a Max Amp, old 3-year-old Max. I just bought a new one, 5200. My gearing is an R1 gear with a R1 pinion gear that I custom made to fit my car. I modified my car to be able to run these R1 gears. So as far as that, and it's a spec class. On my 7 scale, I run an M8 with a Seiko motor, TSG check, no weight, and R18 sharp.
Yeah, there you go, CiCi.
2P Onyx batteries and 2P knuckle up.
So what gearing? What R1? Like what's the tooth? What's the tooth on the R1 gear?
I mean, they're already custom made to fit your car. So what are the gears?
48.
48.
So we got to pick narrow it down.
Okay, how about this? You don't have to give us the exact numbers, right?
Between a 70,
give us the number right before it.
78 and an 86. You got to figure it out. That's the range that I'm running. 78 per and 3 to 27 pinions. So there you go. You got to figure it out from there.
Okay. But I will say this out of my personal experience. I have 3 different cars that I tried the E-Slide with, right? All 3 of them were geared different. All 3 of them. Neither one liked it the same gearing. So it is going to vary to your car.
Hell, Malcolm, I'll take it a step further. Every E-Slide guy that's on the screen right now, car gear different.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And some of us got the same car.
Yep. not to say that some of us with the same car ain't about to have the same gearing, but as of right now, hey, look, and then my teammates ask for it, they gonna get it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Sure, yeah, they gonna get it. Yeah, we're gonna make it do what it do. Yeah, good recap, Rollout. Hey, look, I'm like Rollout. I gotta get up out of here.
Yeah, I gotta go too.
Wifey is waiting for her to watch a movie. I was supposed to be off like 30 minutes ago, so you know. But what I would say is this, man. Like for all y'all guys, thank y'all for coming on. Appreciate everything y'all doing, man. We had a good job. We had a good race last weekend or whatever, and y'all did y'all's thing, man. So, CiCi, you got anything you want to end with? Any questions?
Thanks, guys. Shout out to my sponsors. Yeah. Do y'all have sponsors y'all want to shout out? Oh, that was the screen.
Red Monster, R1, TSG, RC Burns, I think man, dang. I got a couple. I just can't remember all. If I forgot you, it's not Straight Line Spoilers. Got me a new spoiler for my 7 scale as well to get that put on. Oh man, I can't. You know, if I didn't remember, I said TSG, R1, Red Monster, Tire Prep, both. You name it, man. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You name it.
No sponsors. Never had none. Yeah.
T-Money performance raffle.
That's
Hey,
right. MD
wait.
Custom sponsor.
Hey, just wait till this live's over. You might have a couple hitting your DMs. That's what always
Right.
happens. When somebody gets off the live, you might have at least one sponsor when you leave.
Sound good.
Oh yeah. What about you, Pettway?
Thanks.
Man, I'm they across the top of the screen right here. The only one that's not up there is TSG.
Oh yeah. Well,
Actually,
hey, I want to give out.
There's two not up there. TSG and Shark. I need to make a new thing.
Make a new thing. Hey,
See,
I do want to shout out Pinky Tune RC, Christopher Kennedy. You know,
That's my dog.
one of my sponsors, man. Art with RC Speed Seekers as well. Delta Plastic USA, SagaRC.com. My man be taking care of me, and Ripple Killer RC cap packs. And then I gotta give a shout out to my wife for She Cave Design, because she be making all the shirts, the hats, the stickers, decals, everything. So you know, she be making sure I'm laced up or whatever at the track, man. So I want to give her some love too, man. But,
Yeah, I tell her I need one that says "Lots Girl," like the girl part. Instead
Lot
of
Girl, they got Lot Girl Divas, 757 Lot Girl Divas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I mean? Oh, Sweet Racing USA too. My man John Lee with Sweet Racing USA.
Yeah,
he's also one of my sponsors, man. So,
Heck
but yeah, man, let's get up out of here. Hey, y'all be easy. Hey, CiCi, hit me up real quick when you get off the live.
All right,
fellas. All right, ladies.
All right. See y'all soon.
Y'all have a good one.
Body quite as smooth as us. See, I done worked and I done bled, cause I done hustled way too hard, and I get further every step. If sky's the limit, shoot for stars. Some didn't think we get here. I told them just watch. I push the light to get that dough, but I don't break cause I've been broke. If ain't no pain, then ain't no growth. Keep it 100, I came in the